And today we have a special surprise. So Cynthia, I have something here for you. Look at that. It's all nice and
What is it?
shiny.
Oh,
And
cute.
the gift.
Oh,
There
you're
you
so
go.
sweet. Let's see what's inside. Woo! Shiny stuff.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. A diffuser. Wow. A nice new diffuser. That's fantastic. And oh, wow. Look at that. Aromatherapy oils. Fantastic. Okay, I'm going to open it up. We're going to just see what's inside this package. And then we're going to talk about some other oils too that you can use for aromatherapy and why they work too. First, we're going to do our little package. Okay, so on the back it says, motivate, cheer, passion, forgive, console, and peace. Who doesn't need a little bit of those every once in a while? Any one of those. I do.
Sounds great.
Okay. So inside of them, listen to this list of all the oils that are inside of this and why they're so powerful. Peppermint, clementine, coriander, basil, yuzu, or uzu, melissa, rosemary, vanilla, wild orange, clove, star anise, lemon, myrtle. Oh my word, I don't even know what this one is. It starts with a Z. Oh dear, I've got to go look that one up.
A new one, a stumper. Cynthia got stumped.
I did. Vanilla, ginger, cinnamon bark, fractionated coconut oil, cardamom, cinnamon, ginger, clove, sandalwood, jasmine, damiana, spruce, bergamot. Did we do this one? Nope. Juniper berry, myrrh, arbor vitae, nutcatry, thyme, citronella, frankincense, patchouli, ylang-ylang, labdanum, amorous, sandalwood again, rose, osmanthus, vetiver, said that one already, frankincense, sage, marjoram. Okay, there we go.
That's all in one bottle?
That's all of these. So if you had a whole garden out back, I wonder how much of the yard you would have to have in bloom in order to make this one package. I mean, we're talking about thousands and thousands of pounds of petals and sap and all sorts of things that go inside it. Okay, so now we're going to open this up. And inside,
cool packaging. They always do such a great job with the packaging.
Yeah, this really neat little chart. And the chart shows you what oils do what. Which ones are going to be the most effective for you. And right now, my shirt clashes with the lavender field back there, but you'll notice everything's in lavender here, right? So that's because lavender is kind of like where it all started. And lavender is great to sniff. So if you're going to go sniff something, go sniff lavender. Then each one of these on this color wheel has specific things that it does. So you could imagine motivate and peace and console and forgive. You can tell they're going to overlap maybe, but they're going to do different things. Like I don't really feel like I have to be motivated necessarily to forgive, but maybe I do. So maybe I need both. Motivate on one side and forgive on the other. And then I'll do it, whether it's myself or someone else. Then we have cheer, which is also something that we need to think about, being cheerful and why that's so important. So each one of these, if you could see this little circle, and I'm not going to go into it too much tonight because we're going to go on to the other things, but if you could see this little circle, one says, with the green one, it says mints. And then it tells what it's good for down below. So why do you want mints? If you're apathetic, if you are dealing with insecurity, if you are anxious, that's interesting that it would be good for that. And then if we have florals, if you feel kind of fearful or you're worried or you feel hurt. So it's those kinds of feelings. And if you are dealing with, and those are florals, now we're going to get into the trees, the big guns outside, you know, the ones that grow really tall and have really beautiful things that save our oxygen for us. Grieving, sadness, and being ashamed. Those are ones that we deal with when we go to the trees. So, and then the herbs and grasses, here are things that we might be thinking about for those. Discontented, bitter, angry. And so, you know, go lie down in the grass for a while and get rid of some of that. And we have spices. So spices are good if you're feeling somber or disinterested or maybe bored. Grab some cinnamon, huh? And then citrus. So citrus, we're discouraged, gloomy, and distressed. So can you see there for such a wide variety of moods opportunities that we have? And you know, we embrace all of our moods. They're awesome. But sometimes they're out of whack and we have one that's too much for us to deal with. And so we need to look at something to help us to kind of get ourselves back into a balanced place. And these are great ways to start. And we can put them into our awesome diffusers. And then we get that going and we just need a few drops, 3 drops, 4 or 5 drops, 3 to 5 drops. We'll keep it going for 8 hours of incredible changes that are going to happen internally to you. They're going to be calming. They're going to help with the stress. They're going to help us feel more alert. They're going to help us feel more happy about doing things. They're going to create all of these natural feelings. They're going to encourage those feelings in us. And you know, we don't want to go around mopey all the time. Most of us don't anyway. I guess Eeyore does. But the rest of us don't want to do that. So if we want to get beyond those kinds of places in our lives, then we can do that. We can change the emotional tenor of our lives. Now, not all things work for all people, but these are general things that work for everyone. So, you know, that's why it's so interesting. Like if you're feeling like you're grieving, and tree things are really good. Well, what kind of tree things? Well, the sap in the trees. What kind would that be? Frankincense, sandalwood. Those kinds of things help us to feel collected again and to feel like everything's going to be okay. They just have a way of soothing those kinds of feelings. And the same with passion. If we want to have some passionate life experiences, then go for the spices things. It says spice up your life. Yeah, on purpose, because it does. It spices up our lives. And then we have the herbs and the grasses that also help to do that. You know, you put them all the time in food, right? All the time. We're always, you know, we don't usually grab lavender. You can, but we don't usually grab lavender if we're thinking, oh, I'm going to make food tonight. Don't like, oh, I'll just put some lavender in the soy thing, whatever we're making, fried rice. I'm going to put lavender in there. I don't think so. But it's really great for maybe a drink, a lavender drink. How fun. What a good idea. Especially women for our teas. If we want to do something fun with our friends, we can make lavender cookies. But the whole point is to create the experience that we want. We have things that will support those experiential outcomes that we're looking for.
Yeah, and Cynthia, I love this, that they put it together in this kit, because sometimes I'll find myself, I recognize, oh, I'm feeling a little like I'm in a little bit of a funk today, or I'm just not quite on my game. But I haven't really pinpointed what it is. But when I look at this wheel, then I can take it down to the next level and go, oh, I'm grieving today, or I'm feeling, am I feeling fearful, or am I feeling, that there are these anxious or a little somber. I can really drill it down to the next level and get more specific about, oh, this is the emotion I'm experiencing.
There you go.
Arbor Vitae. and then I can go for the oil that is specifically targeted for that emotion. And it's right here, it's in the kit, it's on the wheel. I can do it quickly and I don't have to get confused about what oil should I use.
Right.
And where do I start? But it's right here, and then I can try one and see how that does for me. It's really a great solution.
And the neat thing about starting here is you don't have to get confused all the time, like Mark was saying. But if you find something that really floats your boat in these, you can add more of it. Like maybe you want a little bit more lime in your spiciness, or in, I guess, Laura, maybe where would lime fit? I'm going to stick it in cheer. So I'm going to say it's a citrus, right? So maybe you want a little bit more lime in it. It just really does it, makes you just feel like, yeah, life is so good. So do it. Add a little bit more. Use this as a starting point, and then add a little bit more to it. You don't have to think, oh, I can't use that because it's not in it. If it's a citrus and you love that citrus, add that to the citrus blend and see what you think. See how it works for you. Or you can overlap, right? Because they do overlap with the spices and the citrus. So you could add a little cinnamon to something that you really like. So, just think about,
there's a lot of options.
Yeah, think about overlapping them and seeing how you respond to those, because that's key, especially for emotional things. Emotions are really fascinating. We've talked about them quite a bit. I'm going to just go into it just a teeny bit for a minute. And then we're going to go off on a little surprise journey.
Surprise.
So the interesting thing about emotions is they stay with us. That's why they keep coming up. So when we're little critters, we're little babies until we're about 12 years old. We're like sponges, and we just take it all in, and we take everything in, and we do this because if we were trying to translate the trillions of experiences that we're having suddenly when we get popped into this world, and we're dealing with things we've never dealt with before, and trying to survive is kind of key, and that's about all we're really trying to do. And our parents are in trauma state trying to take care of us. So, between the caretakers and the child themselves, there's a lot to work with. So we have these experiences, and they're going on in our brains, but they're getting sifted down into our subconscious and becoming us. That is key to why it's so important to manage and take care of our emotional side, because it's come from when you were 6 years old. Now, wouldn't it be awful if all we responded to was our 6-year-old self? We can see a lot of that behavior happening, right? When people are so afraid and they don't know what they're afraid of, it's because it was when they were 6 years old. It has nothing to do with where they are now. So if we can take that and recognize, oh yeah, I'm acting, why did I do that thing that happened? And we'll say, okay, I'm going to dial it back. I'm going to observe it. And then I'm going to add some essential oils into me right now while I'm observing and saying, okay, I understand that was how my 6-year-old self captured that moment when they fell off the swing. But I don't have to be afraid of swings anymore. I don't have to be worried that I'm going to land on my little behind and, hurt myself over again, whatever it was. I don't have to worry about that because I'm not in that space, and I know how to care for myself. But our subconscious has already programmed layers and layers and layers of information on top. So they add smell, they add taste, they add, all of our senses into that experience and say, this is a real thing that you've got to be careful of all the time. And there are millions of those experiences that just keep layering on all over us. And so when we do something like this, we're actually unlayering all of those experiences that we have subconsciously that happened until we were 12 years old that we could not translate. And then when we're 12, we start thinking like, hey, you know what? I'm okay. I don't have to worry if a football will hit me in the face or not. I'm okay. Life is good. And, it goes on and on, the kinds of things we might be worried about. Today I went for a drive up in the canyon. And I remember the first time that I went on that road, it was a big switchback road. And it was so narrow that we actually had to back up when another vehicle was coming down. And I knew we were going to fall off. And I still remember that experience. Why do I remember it? Because it happened in that childhood period when it was trauma instead of being just, oh, okay, well, we're just going to back up here. We're not going to go off the cliff. Because in my mind, we were all goners. So I remember getting down on the floor and just thinking, this is it. I'm finished. And
It's such a deep
it was a
emotional
deep
impact.
emotional impact. And it's impacted me multiple times over my life. And I have to reset myself and realize this superhighway I'm not going to fall off the edge of the superhighway just because there's a deep side on the one side because of that one experience. So we can go back and we can retrain our thoughts and our processes so that we won't go there. And there are many things we can do to help this, but smells are absolutely one of the most essential things we can do to help reprogram, retrain our minds. So we're in charge and we don't have to let those things when we were 0 to 12 years old rule our lives. We can be completely past that. Even if we're still dealing in traumatic situations or difficult things, they aren't what they were when we were those ages, because then we didn't have any way to process them. We didn't have any control over what happened, but we do now. So, as adults, we can make decisions and make the changes. And, Mark gave these to me for Mother's Day. And, he's going to have a happier life too.
Yeah. It's good for both of us.
So everybody's going to be happier. We'll just stick those in and, we'll just have a lot more peace and forgiveness.
Joy and serenity.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we won't get hurt, but we know how to get past it. Right?
We know how to.
Yeah. We can do that. And so can you. We hope you'll take the opportunities. We know that there are some of you out there that have reached out to us and are interested in creating this for themselves and getting on a better emotional side. When you do these, it can help rebalance your hormones. It helps, like I said, retrain your brain so that you don't go into those subconscious behaviors. It helps release those subconscious behaviors so you don't have to deal with them in a 6-year-old level way. You can deal with it in an adult way. And you can have a lot less of that kind of trauma in your lives and a lot more healing just by focusing on what's real today and not what was real 10 years ago or 20 years ago or 30 years ago. So reach out to me, eodrops.com, all covered, and we will talk to you soon.
Cool.
Thanks for being here tonight. We'll be on our Zoom page. If you want to come onto our Zoom, you can come there and we'll have some continued conversation.
Are you doing the special surprise?
Oh,
Special surprise? Almost forgot the special surprise.
I did almost forget the special surprise. That's super funny. Okay, 10 minutes more, special surprise. All right, so if you don't know what to do, and if this isn't enough, we have some more things.
Okay, you want to show it?
Yep,
Right.
I want to show it. Okay, I like this. It says, make her day every day. Okay, I know, but this is essential oils, guys. So, get used to it. We're like 90% of who loves oils all the time in big ways happens to be women, because we understand how important it is to set the stage. And essential oils set the stage. They set the stage for your home. They set the stage for your health. So super important. We love this, don't we? So some gifts you can give. This is talking about an diffuser, right? You can get this right now if you want to, and you can get these 3 oils, and it's super fun. So wild orange, citrus, right? Balance, which has a lot of wood oils and things in it. Wild orange. So hang on, go back. Okay. So love, love, love. You can go to the wild orange. Wild orange also is great for the immune system. What? Who knew? It's awesome. You can just smell things and help your immune system. You can use it on your surfaces in your areas. And then, of course, I love to stick it in drinks. It's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. That's terrific.
And I also
smoothies. I love it in smoothies.
You like it in
I love it
smoothies.
in my smoothies
Sweet.
in the morning. It's great.
Okay. Next. Balance. We talked about this mucho times. but it's great because it is a grounding blend. Ground. Okay, what does it have in it? Trees. Wow. So whenever you have trees inside of something, it's going to help you feel grounded. I love that. I love that. And Serenity, this one has floral. So floral makes you feel like you're okay, like it's somebody putting a big blanket over you. You know those heavy blankets that they have now? This is kind of like putting on one of those weighted blankets because it just makes you feel so good. And you can stick it with Epsom salt. And the cool thing about Epsom salt is it's magnesium. And what does magnesium do? It opens up your blood vessels, makes your heart feel like it's functioning more properly. So it's going to help with elevated blood pressure situations, Epsom salts do. And it also is going to help you in the summertime. We don't even think usually about doing Epsom baths in the summer because it's like one of the things we do in the winter when we've been skiing or something, or we've got some pain. Well, it just so happens that the magnesium helps as a mineral when we're out in the summertime doing incredible things out in the out of doors. And you can stick some Serenity in there and, just put that warm blanket around you that Serenity does. Has lavender in it, which is really calming, but it's also restorative. Now, here's some blends you could do. So take a picture of this on your home if you want, because they're really good ones. So you can do 3 drops of wild orange, Serenity, and Balance together. That's for just finishing out the day. Stick it in your diffuser while you're doing your night's puzzle. I like to do puzzles, or reading a book, or writing in your journal, getting things in your mind kind of calm down. Citrus, I can't read today. Citrus meadow, sorry. 3 drops wild orange and 3 drops Balance. Why would that be a meadow? Because it has trees and flowers in it. What? Okay. Blooming happy. 3 drops citrus bloom. Okay, citrus bloom is going to be another citrus one. So instead of wild orange, you're going to have a blend of citrus flavors in it. 3 drops Balance and lime. So we're doing a lot of this wonderful citrus stuff. It's great. Super good for any kind of depressed feelings. Sweet treat. Mandarin, green mandarin, pink pepper, and wild orange. Now those other 2 are interesting. Yeah, because they're going to pull it down. On the spectrum of oils, you have deep oils. So the deep ones are going to be the pink pepper and the green mandarin. So, and it's going to make it feel like you're getting almost like a brownie or something with the smell, because it's got that deep chocolatey kind of, not scent, but feel with it. So then we have Serenity and Balance in the clear your mind or quiet your mind. Remember, we were talking about how you can change your subconscious and release some of that stuff. And then Calm and Happy, Tangerine. I absolutely love Tangerine, by the way. Balance and Elevation. And it's just really a wonderful way to kind of get that homeostasis going for you again, instead of just using peppermint and wild orange, which are fantastic. And then sweet drinks. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one.
About that deep one.
Oh yeah, I bet you're gonna try that tonight. Chocolate on the mind. Okay, so does you and every other mother. So here we have Unwind bath bombs. Look at all the great ingredients in this. So you do the baking soda. Again, you're going to be getting some minerals, which is super important for the body. We often are mineral depleted in our societies, but especially in the summertime, we sweat a lot more. And so, if you work out a lot, if you're an athlete, you need to think about doing some of these things to just help. Your body is a sponge, even on the outside, this big layer of oh my goodness, system. So you have this layer of skin that is actually a sieve that takes things in. So if you do a bath bomb, it doesn't just stay on the outside of you, it's going into your circulatory system. So we have the Balance and we have the Serenity, and all these things are going to help. And if you know one that's better for you, like maybe adaptive, stick about adaptive in here and do it instead of the Serenity, but we're going to stick with these 2 right now. And then also it just tells you how to do this here. So just realize that you can do this frequently. I like that. Okay, so champagne salt scrub. What? Why is it? Because what you do with this is when you put it all together, it just feels super, super good on your body. Okay, next. And now we have wild orange, roller blends, all sorts of wonderful things you can do with wild orange. Have you ever thought of doing digestion on wild orange? Wow, what a combo. You know, stick that one on your tummy instead of just using the digestion. Nice, nice smell. And for energy, look at what you can do. Frankincense for energy? Sure, because it helps reduce inflammation. And then you have the peppermint also doing that, and opens up the airways. And then you have your wild orange. Releasing worry with the lavender, wild orange, and frankincense. Same thing, you know, we're having all the layers. Remember, lavender's a middle layer, wild orange is the top, and balance is, frankincense is the low note or bottom layer of the spectrum. So it's just kind of gonna balance you out there. Then we have elevation, wild orange, and balance for the last one on there. So now we have just balance, roller blends, same thing. You got balance. Look at this, forgive. Remember, forgive, if you looked at the chart, goes into the woods things, and so does balance. So then this is funny because as 10 drops of balance and 5 drops of balance. Wait a minute. Isn't that the same thing? I think so.
Yeah.
So I guess what they're saying is use a lot of balance in that one and some oil. That's all right. We're not going to read them all. So then we have the next one's deep sleeps. For some people, cedarwood is just a make or break. For Mark, it's the arbor vitae, but you get the idea. And the serenity. Then we have all as well with the citrus bliss. We bring in now another citrusy, lovely thing. And we have serenity and peppermint. And I like citrus bliss because it has the vanilla in it too, and I like that smell. And then we have serenity and peace. And now you're done, and you have made her day. Promise.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's coming up really soon. Don't worry about it. Just go get these things and you'll be happy.
Absolutely. And so will she.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be
Everybody
happy.
be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. You can.
Mom's happy. Everybody's happy.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
There is a lot. To see.
But I think it's because moms make everybody happy too, right? So if they're happy, then no wonder everybody's happy
Because they're
because
making everybody else happy.
they just go out and make everybody else happy. So everybody's happy. Maybe your mom did that for you. Okay. So thanks for being here. Now you know really what to do. Now you've got so many guns that you can just, shoot one of those oil guns and you know that you've hit the mark. We hope you do that and have a great, great week.
Have a great week.